Today's tutorial, we're going to go ahead and set up the HTML and the CSS. Now that we have Bootstrap installed, we have to go ahead and actually set up our design. Now, if you're a web designer, this might be painful to watch, so you guys can skip to the next video. Make sure you watch the next video, though, because we need to use a Django-specific package that will allow us to style our comment page. So if you're going to skip ahead, make sure you watch the next video. Otherwise, for you guys that are not too familiar with Bootstrap or designing a website, I'm going to walk you through it. And once again, I'm not a web designer, so what I'm going to do is basically take you through the basics, and we'll make our site look alright, but it ain't going to be anything special. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. In the previous tutorial, we installed Bootstrap, and we gave our site access to Bootstrap. And now we need to go in and add some classes and add some HTML code to our site so we can interact with Bootstrap itself. So go ahead and open up your text editor. Now, we're going to start with base.html. So in your templates, go down to base.html. For you, where I'm getting this code is that we're going to be using. If you go to Bootstrap, and let me just back it up, getbootstrap.com. If you look at the top, if my internet would be a little bit faster, up here you got CSS and Components. That's where you can find most of your information on how to use Bootstrap. Alright, and that's where I got most of my information. Also, I highly suggest, if you're going to use Bootstrap, always go to an example like we did in the previous tutorial. Oops, gotta get started. Go in there and open up an example and make sure you grab some of the meta tags that are in there. I'm going to walk you through the meta tags, but it's good to make sure you have them in properly, because a lot of them have to do with validating your website and make sure it's HTML5 compliant. So if you go to examples and you click on this thing using the framework starter template, you right click and you go view page source. In here you'll see there's like HTML lang, English. Use whatever your website's going to be based on. We got to add some of this stuff like the meta character set, which is like encoding for character coding. That's what it's called. Character coding is some of the HTML code. The next thing we're going to add is this HTTP equivalent. This is like a header response from the website. We're going to add viewport. We're going to add description. We're going to add author and icon, stuff like that. So we're going to walk through that really quick. So actually, the best thing to do is go ahead and grab HTML lang all the way down to there. All right, we're going to copy that. Command C or Control C, depending on your operating system. Go ahead and open up your HTML document. Go from here to the head and Command V or Control V to paste it. And now we have the required information. Now I'm going to take out this favicon because we don't have one yet, so we'll delete that out of there, and the rest is correct. For description, we will leave that blank currently, but we will actually, no, let's do it. Let's create a block description in here, template tag, so we can add the actual description from our website. Mainly right now it's just going to be coming from the blog post detail for now until we set up the rest of our site, but it's nice to have this done so we don't forget about it. So percentage signs and block. Alright, so that's done. In here eventually we'll add the author for each blog post. We're not going to do that now. And then we have our title down here. Let's see here, what else do we need to add? One other thing I want to grab is we need to grab the fix for Internet Explorer 8. It's called HTML5 Shim, or Internet Explorer 9. I don't remember which one it is. One of them. So let's go back to that page that we're just on, Internet Explorer 9. So we're going to grab this HTML5 Shim and response.js. We're going to copy that, and we're also going to put this into our, right below our script here. Put that in. And this is just a helper code to fix Internet Explorer's many problems. Alright, so we'll throw that in. Now we come down. Now our head section is done. It's complete. It's up to HTML5 standards. Now we need to add something to the body. Now in Bootstrap they have something called container. If you look at our site currently, right here, you can see it's pretty much pushed off to the side. So if I slide this over a little bit more so it matches up properly, you can see it's right on the edge here. We don't want that. That looks crappy. So what we're going to do is put a container in, and it's going to give it padding on each side to make it look a little bit better. And that's how our whole site's going to be laid out. So we'll put it in the base HTML. So right below the body tag, we're going to go ahead and put a div tag. All right, and then we're going to give it a class of container. So container, just like that. And then right below, actually we'll move this over. I'm a big stickler for HTML code if it's not lined up properly. If you're using Sublime Text, if you press Control and then the square bracket to the right, boom. And that would be, if I didn't explain that correctly, the right hand side square bracket. And if you use the command and left hand side square bracket, it brings it back. All right, so to the right, and there we go. And then we're going to close out our div down here with just opening caret / div. Now if we go in and refresh our page, we will see it actually slid. If my server's running, I don't remember if it's running. It is running. It's just being slow. There we go. See, now that looks a lot better, correct? All right, cool. One thing we're not going to do in this tutorial is add a menu bar yet. We'll do that eventually. But for now, we're just trying to get the overall layout kind of set so it works nicer. So that's all for the base HTML template. The rest is going to be done specifically with each template. So we can go ahead and close base HTML. And the next one we want to open is list of post. Now we're going to do list of posts, and then we're going to copy it and put it into the list of posts by category, and put it in there because they're going to pretty much be the same. So let's jump into list of posts and take a look at what we're going to do here. Since we put a description tag in base HTML, let's go ahead and put one here. And since this is a list of posts, we'll kind of just hard code this in here. So block description. Spell that right? Description. Yeah. And then end block. We could make it dynamic if we wanted to in the back end. Maybe that's something we'll do down the line. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and hard code something in here. And we'll just say this is the description. Now, if you're putting this online, you want the rank on Google, you probably give it a better description. All right. Then we got our block title, which is a list of blog posts. So that goes into the base HTML as well. Then we got block content, and then our for post loop. First thing I want to do is we're going to add a row, and this is kind of like the container, but what it does is allows us to position some things. That's the easiest explanation I can think of. Class equals row. All right, and then we need to end that div. I like to end my divs immediately. So after the end for, we'll do caret / div. Save that. All right. Now the next thing we're going to add is how wide do we want it to be? And if you go over to Bootstrap again, and you come in here, that's not it. Gotta go back. under CSS, under CSS, under here, you can go to grids. Oh man, got click happy, and it took me to Bootstrap 4. So CSS. Sorry, my computer's being so slow today. Alright, now we go down to grid option, our grids, and this is how we can split up our grids, the layout of our site. Alright, so if you're not familiar with this, I suggest you read about grids. They make your life so much easier, especially for someone that hates designing websites like myself. Alright, so back into our code. Let's go ahead and give another div. I'm going to tab over, and I'm going to do div class is equal to col hyphen md for middle, or mid, I guess it would be, or middle. I don't know what they consider that in Bootstrap. And now I'm saying basically I want my content to be 8 columns wide. All right, and then right below the N4, I'm going to come down here and close that out. Now that I have an 8 column wide, my content's 8 columns wide. When Bootstrap itself is 12 columns, I'm going to put a sidebar on the right hand side. So I would do something like this to do this. I do div class is equal to col md 4. So saying my sidebar's 4 columns wide. So close the div, and we'll come back and add content there in a second. Alright, I'm going to move this over again. So column command, and then the square bracket to the right. And right down here, I'm going to go ahead and add another div. This one, I'm going to put a title on our page here. So above, let's go ahead and actually access one of these things. Oh no, I'm on that page. Damn it! Alright, we'll stop it. Alright. So we're on our page here. I'll just go ahead and refresh. No, that's going to take me to the post. Sorry, people. There we go. So the page that we're working on here, this is what we're styling. I want to put a title up here. Basically says our latest blog post or something like that. Alright. So I'm going to use something in Bootstrap called page header. So we're going to do class equal, and we're going to say page header. Oops, that's not how you spell header. Header. Alright, and this is going to give me some style. So I'll close out that div, and then on the inside, I'm going to use an h1 tag, which is a header tag in HTML, and I'm going to say our latest post, or something like that. Whatever you want to name it. Alright, so if we go back to our page and we refresh it, we're going to see a change to we're going to see a title up here. Our latest post. That looks pretty nice, huh? Okay, cool. And you remember in the sidebar I said we were going to add some content shortly? Well, let's just do it now. So we'll put this div guy in here, this page header, and we'll just change the content here to sidebar, just like that. And if you go back in and refresh your page, you're going to see a nice little sidebar on the right. Boom, sidebar. Sweet. Alright. So now let's go ahead and style the rest of this crap over here. Open up our text editor again, and let's see what we got here. We got H2. I guess that works. Let's change this P tag to a small to make it look a little bit smaller and nicer. Alright, and we'll just check that out and see what that looks like. This right here should get smaller. There we go. So it's not so you know, this content's not very important. You know, how many people actually want to see that author and a date and tutorials? I mean, I look at dates sometimes when I go to blog posts when I'm looking for examples for some code to make sure it wasn't written in 2002. Anyhow, all right. Now let's get rid of this horizontal rule. That's pretty stupid, and that's right here. So we'll delete that. And what else do I have? That's it for this page. So what I'm going to do is save it, and then what I want you to do is copy this whole thing. So we're going to highlight it, or you could hit Command A, then hit not Command S, crap, Command C. We're going to copy that, and then we're going to open our list of posts by category, and we're going to throw this guy in here. All right. Now we're going to have to make a couple changes because we didn't have the same code in there. So let me just read through this real quick. We can change this to, we can actually make this dynamic itself up here. So we'll do a variable in here. And, well, that's description. No, we want to keep descriptions. We'll just say this is a category. This is a category for now. We'll figure something out to put in there. In here, we can actually change the title though, and we can do category dot name. Oops. Take this guy, delete that guy, put this guy over here. There we go. So what we did is now our title is going to display our category by name. Then I'm going to copy this because I'm going to use this down here too, so we can dynamically change our title. Our latest post in this category. So we'll throw that in there. So that changes. So let's go ahead and just take a look at what we got so far. If you click on one of your categories here, we'll take a look at what we got. If it ever gets there we go. So our latest post in tutorials, our post was in tutorials. I want to move this or remove this on this page because why would you need the category if you're in that on that page, you know? So let's go ahead and remove that. Post author, where are you? We'll take out the N and the A link like that. So now if we save it and go back and refresh, it should not have that in tutorials any longer to make it look a little bit better. Boom, gone. Sweet. And what else we want to do? That's about it for that page as well. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to style here. Let's go ahead over to our post detail. This is going to take a little bit more styling, so we'll just click on the post here. We'll bring that up. And in our text editor, let's go ahead and open post detail. Alright, so post detail. Well, let's go ahead and add a description since we added that to base HTML. So I'm just going to copy this guy here. Getting lazy. And we're going to change this to description. Sean, just like that. And this should be SEO underscore descript. Sean. Something like that. Alright. And then we're going to go ahead. We got block content. Let's go ahead and add row just like we did before. So we'll do div class and row just like that. Close out our div all the way down here. Just like that. Let's make it 8 wide again so we can have sidebar. So another div. So we'll do div class, and then we do call md8, and then go down and close out that div. And let's go ahead back and refresh to make sure it looks all right. I think it's looking better. All right, so now let's do the page header. We'll do the same thing we did before. So actually, I'm just going to go copy it instead of typing this crap out. So copy this one, copy that, go back in. Remember, post title, we need to add that. So we'll paste this in and just do our variable, two curly brackets, and then post dot title, and go back and refresh. Sorry I go back and refresh, but I always like to make sure everything looks good before I move on to the next step, because if it doesn't, then you should probably fix it then. This is a post, that's our title, sweet. Alright, back. Alright, this is the title. We'll go ahead and change this to small again, so we'll do small. Alright, and the end tag here, small. Let's add the category in here. We need a tag, href. Put that in, and then in here we're going to do our variable, and then it's going to be post dot category dot get absolute URL. Alright, save that, and then in here we need to put another variable, and this is going to be post dot category, and then out here close our a tag. Boom. Refresh to make sure this thing looks alright and works. There's the tutorials. Go ahead and open that up. It goes to the right one, so we'll go back. Sweet. That worked. Alright, next up is take away this HR tag, the horizontal rule that looks stupid. We'll keep post content with line breaks there. Now we're going to come down here, get rid of this HR tag too. We don't need that any longer. Go ahead and copy this page header here. We're going to use this again down here at leave comment. So we'll get paste that in there and change leave comment. Alright, and then we're going to do a small tag, SMALL, and close out our small tag, and we're going to go ahead and put this total comments in here. Boom, like that. We'll save that. We'll get rid of this total number of comments there. And save it again. Let's just make sure this looks alright. Looking better. One thing I do want to do is find one that has comments so we can style them. Because if we don't, I think this one might have comments. I hope it does. Yeah, this has a bunch of comments. Alright, cool. So it says 4 comments, so that worked. Alright, back in here, let's go ahead and style our comments. First thing I want to do is style the link here, because that looks pretty stupid. So let's go ahead and just make a button that's centered. So so let's put this in a p tag. P. Then we're going to do class equals, and it's going to be text hyphen center, so we can center it. Oops, Jesus. Center. There we go. And we'll take the p tag behind this a tag and close that out. Now we're not going to, we still need to use an a tag, but now we're going to put a button here. So opening caret button. All right, and then we're going to give the button a type, which is equal to a string of button itself. and then we're going to give it a class, and we're going to name that class btn, then btn hyphen default, right? Yeah, default, and close the caret out with the button, and then we need to close out button after the a tag, so we'll close out button. Let's go ahead and just make sure it looks all right. I know this tutorial is pretty long, but it's probably last time we're gonna have to style stuff. Otherwise, when we build the templates from the rest of the tutorials, we'll do it as we move along. Alright, leave comment center. That's kind of where I want it. And now let's just style these comments down here so they look a little bit better. So for comment, in post comments all, let's go ahead and right below there we're going to add a div. So we're going to go div class, and in here we're going to do panel hyphen default. And then I spelled default wrong. Jesus Christ, default. There we go. Close that div out, and then we're going to go right below right before the empty tag. Let's go ahead and close that div out. Alright, so we got that done. Now we need to have a header for our panel. So if you guys are wondering what a panel looks like right now, let's go ahead and take a look at that. It's going to look kind of screwy. Oh, did I not save? No, I didn't. So let's go ahead and save it. And now let's go look at the panel. See how it has little boxes around it? Alright, so it looks a little screwy right now. Now we're going to give it like a header inside the box here. So to do that, we're going to do div class is equal to string, and close out that div. And I'm trying to remember what the hell it's called. I think it's panel heading. Panel. P-A-N-E-L heading. Like that. And we'll close out this div real quick. Let me see what I want to put in here. Let's put this in here, the name of the user. So I'll cut that with Command X and then Command V. And then I'm just going to type in on. So the users, say, for example, Bob commented. It doesn't really matter what you put in here. Whatever style or content you want to put, you can do that. I'm just trying to make it realistic. So commented on, and then the date. So we'll get rid of these p tags here. And save it. And then just down here, we're going to add one more div before we go look at it, because I think we're going to add the body of the panel. So div class equal to, and then we're going to do panel body, I believe is called. And then right down here, we'll do div. We're going to take these p tags off of it because we don't want that to be there. Because in the future, we're going to add some features to our post where we can have like a WYSIWYG, what it's called, or whatever it's called, so you can actually edit and put in H tags and whatnot down the road. Alright, so let's go ahead and refresh and take a look. Boom. I think that looks pretty cool. John, Bob, Joe. Alright, so we have created the design of our site. In the next tutorial, we are going to go ahead and set up design our comment form itself. It's a little different than what we did today with Django, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that because this looks like crap, but we'll go ahead and